It's really as if we never left each other. Back with episode 6, I believe, of my Great Lock-In series. I'm gonna share the things that I do that make it so my morning runs very smoothly. I make sure that my night routine is productive, but I also wanna relax because it is nighttime. Like I need some time to decompress so that I sleep well, so that in the morning I can wake up early. I like to wake up around 4:30 if I'm having a rough time going to sleep. But when I do this routine, I don't have a rough time going to sleep. Now you might be thinking, Nicole, it's looking quite bright for nighttime routine. It is actually only 3:25. I got my kids up from, well, one of my kids up from nap time and the other one from quiet time about 20 minutes ago. And in my head, my day is separated by pre-nap time is the morning, post-nap time is the evening. And I do start my technical nighttime routine around this time. And the first thing I do at nighttime is I start some process of dinner, even though we eat around 5:30, sometimes 6, depending on when my husband is planning to be home if he's not working from home. I usually have to start something around this time because I saw this post. It said life is hard, so I decided to make it harder by making everything from scratch. That's me. I make most of our bread. I'll take 90% of our bread from scratch. I make a lot of our other food from scratch. I do enjoy it, but it is time consuming, I won't lie. So today what I need to make is some homemade pita bread, which I think I've made once before. Looks easy enough. Most breads and tortillas and stuff like that are pretty basic. They're all the same kind of ingredients. Let's get started. While I was waiting for the dough to form what the recipe calls a sponge, I don't think I like that, but that's what they're calling it. Mixed up the lamb with some seasonings. I used 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. These are estimations because I don't actually measure. But about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1.5 teaspoons of za'atar, really good spice. You might be like, oh, I don't want to buy that. I'm never going to use it for anything. Anytime you, the plate like tilting in my sink scared me. Is her anxiety levels high? Because why did that slight sound make me jolt like that? Anyway, anytime you make any sort of Greek Mediterranean inspired dish, add za'atar, probably like 1.5 teaspoon of salt and then just pepper to taste. All formed. I didn't show you me mixing them because I know you don't want to look at raw meat for that long. But what I ended up doing was using my scale and making each meatball about 1 ounce. So that's very easy for me to track. And then if there's leftovers tomorrow and I want to eat it again tomorrow, I already know how to track it. Sometimes I'll add 1 egg and some breadcrumbs when I'm making lamb meatballs or meatballs in general. But I was thinking about it and I was like, lamb is actually fatty enough that I don't think I need to do that because the fat within it should be like a natural binder. Slight interruption, my son wanted a snack. I can't remember what I was saying, so we'll continue on. I've always liked cooking ever since I was little. Did you ever watch the show Zoom? Zoom, Zoom, come on and 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 Zoom, 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 Zoom. That was my show. I love Zoom. I even wrote into it with a recipe. And I would do that when I was little, like exactly like this. I would take I have like a memory of myself doing it. I would take a piece of bread and I'll roll it flat and then put like jelly and peanut butter and roll it up. And I'd be like, first you have to smash the bread. And then you have to put it, like having my own little show, because I loved it. But yeah, I've always loved cooking, so it's just something that as I had kids, I got more and more into making things from scratch. But I really started my from scratch journey, I'd say probably like my junior year of college, because by then I was over like the constant partying. And so I was like, well, I have to do something with my time. So I got into cooking from scratch. Normally I do this later in the day, but I'm trying something new where my kids have their watching time where they watch a show in the afternoon, like post-nap quiet time versus before I was doing it during snack time. My kids are affected by too much TV, so I really try to limit to like maximum an hour a day. I know all kids are different. Mine are very affected by too much TV. So yeah, I'm trying this method because it does make the afternoon a little bit smoother, and I feel like it actually makes the morning better because they're just like, they play, we do activities. If we have some errands to run, we run errands, and they're just in like a much flat level, better like mood throughout the morning. One of the first things to set myself up for the morning, and that is preparing my pre-workout snack and my pre-workout drink. If I'm doing a powdered pre-workout drink, I will prep it in advance. So I just put the cup that I'm gonna use on the scale. I'll have to change this back to grams. I also just dump my multivitamin in the cup because in the morning I'm gonna add water and drink it anyway. I'll be drinking my pre-workout and just get a little sip of vitamin. I don't care. I'm just trying to move as efficiently as possible in the morning. If I'm not doing like a powdered pre-workout, I will do an ayeeee. My little pre-workout snack right now, I've been enjoying dates. Very easy. You're getting some fiber. Let me tell you exactly. So this says 2 dates is 40 grams. Not all of them are that, so I do still weigh it. But you get 3 grams of fiber per 40 grams of dates, which is all right. So that fiber is going to slow down the digestion a little bit since dates are just straight carbs, so that I'm getting that spike of energy, but it's not all going through my system really quickly. I do also pair it with a little bit of peanut butter. So I do like a tiny bit, like 3 or 4 grams. Like I'm doing a very small amount just to slow down that digestion a little bit so I can get my lift in and then do cardio on my cardio days, which are 4 out of the 5 days I lift. And I'm gonna close my dates very well. That's how you keep them nice, soft, and juicy. Let me wash my hands because they're sticky and I don't wanna make anything else sticky. Are you someone that like you just cook and maybe you wear an apron or you just deal with it, your hands being a little dirty? Or are you someone that every single second you're washing your hands? Guess which one I am, if it wasn't obvious by the fact that I just washed my hands from touching some dates. I also add some salt. Oh, you can't see me. Stop zooming in on my boobs that don't exist, that have just left me completely. I add some salt too. It's gonna add to the pumpy pump. The last thing I do, but I did do it earlier already, I take my shaker cup and then I take a little electrolyte pack. This has liquid IV in there and Pro Mix. I used to use liquid IV. I just wanted something with a little bit more, I don't want to say clean because I hate that, but like more normal ingredients. So I switched to the Pro Mix one, which is very simple ingredients. I set this out on the counter. I don't care if it sits out on the counter because it's just dates and peanut butter. I mix that in my little shaker cup, put that in the fridge, so in the morning I can grab and go. I'm not wasting time mixing this up. And then if I'm doing an ayeeee, instead of putting my vitamins in like little pre-workout, I'll just put my vitamins on here. You might be like, Nicole, you don't have time to grab vitamins in the morning? I do, but as many things I can do the night before to cut down on time in the morning and make my morning go as smoothly and just like effortlessly as possible, I'm doing it the night before. Dinner is almost ready. Still cooking up the meatballs, but they're almost done. While the meatballs were cooking, because I didn't want to dirty another pan, I just put the pita on a plate and then kept it covered with the same towel. This is mine, my little Greek lamb Mediterranean salad. This is what's in the middle. It's so yummy. You could also do Greek yogurt or Greek yogurt with cucumber and make like a quick tzatziki. These are super yummy and pretty good ingredients if you're not afraid of seed oils. Cucumbers, tomatoes, some olives. Yeah. I'm so excited to eat this.
Should I come through? Then I come kick with you. 2 a.m. again, and I'm thinking about.
Ow! You know I'm filming, right?
I know.
It's 2 a.m. and I'm stuck up thinking about the last time you were behind me. All in the mirror, I could see
laying out my gym clothes for the morning. Again, this falls in the category of doing whatever I can do the night before. Here come the babies. That will make the next morning quicker. What's the saying? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. It's cliche, but it's true. Put my son to sleep and my husband is putting my daughter to sleep. I'm walking in circles right now because I have like 500 steps to get. My walking pad's right there, but I only like to walk on it with socks and sneakers on because when I try to do that, when I try to walk on it without, it actually was hurting my feet. So that's like my rule now. And I'm just being lazy and don't feel like going upstairs to get socks because I didn't realize that I had some steps left. So walking in circles it is. It's really not that big of a deal because it'll take me like 5 minutes to get the steps that I need. I'm actually gonna work on the thumbnail of this video while I walk around in circles, which I realize just looks unwell. My phone's just sliding. Let me turn off the lights a little bit. Got my steps. This is my sweet treat. It is the Tart Burst. It's basically Pop-Tart flavor of the Buffin Muffin. It is so good. The trick to these, it's like a high protein muffin. You'd need to, if you like have it in the fridge, which you should probably keep them. I keep them in the freezer. And then if I know like the next day I'm gonna eat one, I move it to the fridge. And then you have to leave it sitting on the counter for like 1 hour or so. And even then, I will still pop it in the microwave for like 10-15 seconds. And that is when they're super good. If you try these out and you don't do that and you're like, Nicole, it was dry, it was nasty. I told you, pop it in the microwave, let it sit on the counter for like an hour, pop it in the microwave, and it is so good. Oh, I'm so excited. Come and see me force. You don't never come to me. You don't never come to me. I've been up for 2 whole days thinking what I did to keep you going. I'm aware these are Valentine's Day PJs, but I saw them in my dresser and I was like, those are cute. I kind of forgot about them and so I wanted to wear them. Before I say goodnight, I wanted to give you 2 tips. So one is magnesium at night. I'll do this spray, or I want to say, I did the drink Calm for a bit, the magnesium drink. I feel like everyone knows that one. And then the other one that I have, I think it's called Moon something. I'll just spray the magnesium on my forearms, rub it together. Sometimes I'll spray on my stomach, but this is like a onesie. The second tip I wanted to give you is that if you are a sweet treats person like me, or you're just someone that has a hard time not eating your whole kitchen at nighttime, something that really helped me was breaking the normal routine I was in and kind of like playing a trick on my mind. So normally I would actually shower, do all my skincare, get in PJs, and then get in bed and have my sweet treat in bed. And what would end up happening is that I was sitting in bed, as soon as I finished whatever my treat was, I was like, oh my gosh, I just want something else. And instead of resisting, instead of doing whatever, I would usually get something else. And I'd be like, why did I even do that? Because I wasn't even hungry. And finally, I was like, okay, I need to do something else because obviously this is not working. Obviously relying on my willpower to just like resist is not working. And sometimes I could do it, but it was not working consistent. My willpower was not working consistently enough for me that I wanted it to. So I was like, okay, what can I do to shift this dynamic? So now what I do is I have my sweet treat. I don't lay in bed because I don't lay in my bed with clothes that we walk around all day. We don't do that. No outside clothes in the bed. So I sit in our little chair that's next to our bed. I eat my sweet treat there. I enjoy it. I watch a little show. And then I get up immediately and I take a shower. I brush my teeth first and then I take a shower. I'm breaking it up with enough time that by the time I'm out of the shower, by the time I do my skincare and everything, I'm like, yeah, I'm not even hungry anyway. Even if once I finish eating the sweet treat, I'm like, oh, like something else would sound good. After that whole process, which is like a 15-20 minute process, I'm like, I'm over it, I'm ready for bed. And that has really helped me. You don't have to necessarily do that, but I would just recommend like breaking up your normal routine. If your normal routine is not working for whatever goals you have, switch it up. Anyway, enough chit chatting. I feel like I've been just chatting your ear off this whole video. It is pretty much time for me to go to sleep. I'm going to hop in bed, turn my little red light lamp. I don't think it's actually red light therapy, but I like my red light lamp. I turn on a fan, even though we have a ceiling fan. My husband actually did that before we even met, and now I have, after over 10 years, finally adopted it too, where I need a fan to go to sleep, or at least sleep easier. Then I'm gonna read my Kindle. I've been reading Midnight Library, and it is has gotten me into like being on top of reading again, which is funny because that was one of my goals this year was to get back into reading, but I think I read like maximum 3 books this year, which is very, very low. And so I'm excited that going into the new year, I'm already like on a reading kick. I absolutely love it. Look at the synopsis. There are a few heavy topics in the book, so I would definitely look those up, like trigger warnings, just to make sure. But if you are in like your late 20s to, I would say, late 30s, I highly, highly recommend the book. I'm about halfway through, I think I'm a little under halfway through. I'm sure by the time I post this video, I'll be done. So far, I think it's gonna end up being one of my top 5 favorite books. I said I'm gonna stop chatting, and here I'm chatting again. Hopefully I will be actually asleep no later than 9:30. I think it's like probably almost 9 or a little after 9. My phone is in the actual bedroom. Thank you so much for watching. I hope seeing my nighttime routine, how I relax, and how I set myself up for the next day was helpful, and I hope you're joining out with me. Bye.